That was really filmed on camera. Sometimes the most unbelievable moments are not scenes from films. They unfold in plain sight in front of ordinary people who happen to have a camera running. Over the next few minutes, you will see how reality can feel staged even when it is not. Picture a camera being lowered nearly 100 meters beneath a sheet of Antarctic ice. The rope keeps feeding downward as the light fades and the surface disappears. What remains is dark water and a ceiling of ice that has not seen open air in nearly 2 million years. Scientists carried out this descent to study a layer sealed away long before human beings walked the Earth. Inside that frozen mass are tiny bubbles of trapped air, each one preserving a sample of Earth's ancient atmosphere. The footage shows a pale wall stretching into the distance, quiet and still. It does not appear dramatic at first glance. Then the weight of time settles in. That ice formed when our earliest ancestors were still learning to shape simple tools. Seeing such age on screen creates a strange feeling. The water below looks almost black. The ice above appears dense and immovable. No soundtrack is needed. The knowledge itself gives the scene gravity. That camera did not enter a set. It entered a record of the planet's past. Strange events are not limited to remote places. After a violent storm in Yoro, Honduras, residents stepped outside expecting broken branches and standing water. Instead, they found fish scattered across the streets. Small silver bodies lay on wet pavement, some still alive. The event happens often enough that locals call it the rain of fish. Researchers believe waterspouts over nearby waters lift fish into the air and carry them inland before releasing them during heavy rainfall. The explanation may be scientific, yet the sight remains startling. Children gather fish from the ground while adults glance at the sky, half expecting more to fall. The storm passes, but the question lingers. How many unusual moments escape notice simply because no one records them? Some cameras follow danger rather than avoid it. A United States Air Force squadron known as the Hurricane Hunters flies directly into severe storms. Their aircraft heads straight toward the very systems most pilots try to escape. Inside the plane, the footage captures sudden jolts and loud rattling. Instruments vibrate. Crew members speak in steady tones while the aircraft pushes through thick cloud. Lightning flashes beyond the windows as the cabin tilts and steadies again. Then the shaking eases. The aircraft enters the eye of the hurricane. Sunlight filters through a ring of towering cloud. Above, the sky appears almost calm. Only minutes earlier, the plane was surrounded by chaos. Now it rests within a circular wall of rotating storm. These flights collect data that helps forecasters predict landfall and warn communities. The recording carries a quiet courage. No speeches, no celebration. Just a crew performing a task few would volunteer to attempt. Nature can change course just as quickly over open land. In August 2025, a powerful system moved across South Dakota. Cameras captured the moment a funnel began descending from the clouds. At first, it resembled a thin thread. Within seconds, it thickened and reached toward the ground. Dust and debris lifted as the wind intensified. Observers filming from a distance spoke in rising tones as the shape sharpened into a full tornado. Later reports noted that the damage remained largely to buildings and property. The footage, however, shows how swiftly calm terrain can become a scene of rotating force. Human action can be just as decisive. During a police pursuit on a highway, a suspect vehicle sped ahead with officers close behind. A semi-truck driver in the area recognized what was happening and positioned his trailer across the road at a precise moment. The suspect had no path forward. The clip shows confusion turning into resolution within seconds. No rehearsal guided that choice. Instinct and judgment did. His decision brought the chase to an end before it escalated further. Another roadside scene unfolded in Mexico when a truck driver noticed a small child walking alone between lanes of traffic. Vehicles passed at high speed. The child moved without understanding the risk. The driver stopped his truck, stepped out, and guided the child away from the roadway until help arrived. The recording captures the rush of traffic and the steady manner in which he intervened. Relief follows gradually once the situation is secure. The child stands safely at the side of the road while cars continue on their way. Encounters with wildlife sometimes cross into neighborhoods. In a residential area where alligators are common, a homeowner was warned not to open her front door. An alligator rested just outside. Body camera footage shows responding officers approaching with careful steps and measured movements. They secured the animal and transported it to a nearby pond. The exchange remained calm, yet the image of a large reptile outside a suburban home lingers long after the clip ends. Scenes such as this blur the boundary between everyday life and the natural world. Acts of care also appear in quieter moments. A motorist stopped to assist a distressed kangaroo caught in difficulty. After freeing it, he expected the animal to bound away. Instead, it remained nearby for a brief pause, standing still before moving off. The exchange lasted only seconds, yet it left an impression. The camera recorded a simple act of help without commentary or drama. In the wild, caution often decides the outcome of a confrontation. On safari, a pride of lions surrounded a porcupine. The porcupine raised its quills and produced a sharp rattling sound. The lions approached, then slowed. One stepped back, another turned away. Within moments, the pride lost interest and moved on. The porcupine held its ground. The scene reveals that even skilled predators weigh the risk of injury before advancing. Nightfall at a campground carries its own assumptions of safety. Coolers close, car doors lock, people retreat to tents or cabins. In regions where bears roam, that sense of security can unravel quickly. One recording shows a bear walking up to a parked vehicle with steady confidence. It stands on its hind legs, grips the handle, and pulls. The door opens. The animal climbs inside and begins searching through the seats with calm focus. The person filming sounds stunned as the bear settles into the driver's seat area, moving bags aside in search of food. The scene holds both tension and disbelief. An unlocked car becomes an easy source of scent and calories. The camera simply captures instinct meeting opportunity. The force of water can reshape a coastline in a matter of hours. In 2015, Hurricane Blanca struck Cabo San Lucas. Visitors and residents recorded waves climbing over seawalls and crashing against buildings near the shore. Water poured into streets that had been dry earlier that day. Palm trees bent under strong wind as onlookers spoke in disbelief. The ocean shifted from a familiar backdrop to an advancing presence. The footage shows how quickly a shoreline can change character when wind and pressure combine. Another form of weather transforms entire cities each spring in parts of East Asia. Vast dust storms rise from dry land and move toward urban centers in thick masses. Recordings show a wall of dust approaching from a distance as the sky dims and buildings fade from view. Drivers reduce speed, pedestrians hurry indoors, streetlights glow while it is still daytime. Environmental changes in expanding deserts have increased the frequency of such storms. Watching a skyline vanish behind sand and soil requires no dramatic narration. The image speaks for itself. Some of the most striking recordings last only moments. A vehicle once became stuck on train tracks just as a train approached. Warning lights flashed while the horn sounded in the distance. The driver could not free the car. Nearby bystanders ran toward the tracks without pause. They pushed together until the vehicle rolled clear of the rails. The train passed almost immediately afterward. The sound dominates the recording. When it is over, the group stands still, absorbing what nearly occurred. Across all these scenes runs a shared thread. Each one felt improbable at first glance, yet none were staged. A camera beneath ancient ice, fish on a city street, aircraft inside a storm, a bear opening a door, waves entering a resort town, dust swallowing daylight, strangers pushing a car to safety. It is natural to question what appears on a screen. Digital effects have grown common. The recordings in this collection rely on no such tools. They show ordinary places and unplanned events preserved as they happen. The camera does not create these moments, it preserves them. If these scenes held your attention, consider how many similar events unfold each day without documentation. Somewhere at this very moment, another unexpected chapter is taking shape. Remain attentive, stay curious, subscribe for more real events that remind us how remarkable the unscripted world can be.